June 2009 Thailand's Royal Oxen Smoked Cheese new arrival secret recipe revealed care for cows in Vrindavan CFC trustees Vraja Mohan Dasa Hayavalabha Dasa Amit Tulani Rakesh Rahira patrons Radhajivan Dasa Suresh Vajiani CFC staff Kurmarupa Dasa Dr. J.P. Lavanya Kesi Nisudana Dasa Braja Gopal Dasa, Switzerland, Laxmi Rupa Dasi, Denmark, Jagannath Dasa Puri Maharaja Isani Devi Dasi, Holland, Gajanand Dasa Devaki Kumar Dasa Siam Hari, Vijay, Ramu, Ravi, Mithan, Sukumar editor Kurmarupa Dasa Care for Cows in Vrindavana is inspired by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada founder Acharya International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Dear friends, what follows is an excerpt from Village, Town and Jungle Life in India, Travels Through India 1874 to 1902 by A.C. Newcomb. In the sacred city Amritsar, the bulls may be met in the narrow streets wandering about ownerless, and as free to jostle their way through the crowd as any other pedestrian. Though ownerless, they are under the protection of the whole community. They are often seen with garlands of flowers round their necks and are quite friendly towards strangers. I once saw, in a street of Amritsar, a bull walk in at the open door of a house. The whole family of Sikhs, sitting in a circle on the floor, rose and salaamed respectful greeting and made way for the animal to take what place he chose. If in want of food, the bull simply takes it from a stall where it is exposed for sale or from a family meal. Any inconvenience to the owners is obviated by their selecting and offering what he wants before he makes unintentional mischief in appropriating it himself. About the year 1870, such was the indignation aroused in Amritsar at the slaughtering of bulls for food for Europeans and Mohammedans, that one night all the Mohammedan butchers were killed. Today's indifference to illegal abduction of cows and bulls for slaughter indicates a severe deterioration of Vedic culture resulting from the influence of the mass media. Jaya Sri Guru, Jaya Sri Gopala, Jaya Sri Gomata. CA-Refercows.org. Care for Cows in Vrindavan is a charitable trust registered in India, USA, Holland, and Switzerland. The CFC's staff. After a night of heavy rain, a large crowd gathered at the Sanam Luang, the royal grounds, in Bangkok, Thailand on March 11. Although a crowd gathered at the entrance of the festival site to catch a glimpse of the king's arrival, the majority of the people gathered on the perimeter of the grounds to witness the main event, the royal ploughing ceremony. The ceremony, which is to ensure a good harvest for the upcoming season, is a festival that has its origins in Brahmanic rituals. The ploughing ceremony is said to date back to before the time of Lord Buddha more than 2,500 years ago, and its exact date is still set every year by Brahmin astrologers. Thailand's royal oxen perform the ploughing ceremony. The ploughing ceremony is intended to provide morale for the farmers as well as make Thailand is still an agrarian society with about half the country's population dependent of farming. The ploughing ceremony is intended to provide morale for the farmers as well as make predictions about the year's crops. The ceremony is called Rak Na Kwan, which literally means first ploughing auspices. Although the king, or members of the royal family are present for the ceremony, the real stars of the festival are two snow-white oxen named Prako Phai and Prako Sai. During the reign of King Rama IV, 1851 to 1868, the ceremony was performed with great pomp. An eyewitness report from CFC Asian correspondent Krishnamurti with a procession of more than 500 people. It gradually fell into decline, and the current ceremony was revived in 1960. The ceremony was personally presided over by the King of Thailand, HRH King Bhumibol Adulyadej, for many years. Nowadays, as the king's age and health does not permit his personal participation, he appoints a Lord of the Ploughing Ceremony or Furik Na, from an upper-ranking member of the Ministry of Agriculture. The appointee wears a ceremonial ring made with 9 gems, perhaps a Navagraha ring, as well as a traditional jeweled costume. At the onset of the ceremony, Prako Phai and Prako Sai predictions about the year's crops. The Furik Na is offered 3 pieces of identical-looking cloth to choose from. The cloths are of different lengths, 4, 5 and 6 kyub, 1 cubit is approximately 6 inches. The length of the cloth that is chosen indicates the amount of rain for that year, the shortest piece indicates a year with abundant water, the longest foretells little rain, and the medium one means a balanced supply of water, abundant rice, and healthy crops. The procession then moves into the center of the field where the oxen are hooked up to the red and gold ceremonial plow and begin to plow the field in a large circle. The procession is headed by Brahmins who are dressed in white. The oxen are decorated in golden cloth and other ornaments and are led by their attendants in red costumes and bare feet. They are followed by drummers in green costumes, umbrella bearers, plowers, who are dressed in a type of dhoti. After the oxen make 3 circular furrows, the Purikna, walking behind the plow, takes the grains carried in golden containers by 4 Thai maidens dressed as apsaras and tosses the seeds over the plowed earth. The Brahmin priests then sprinkle blessed water on the field and grains. After the grains are scattered, the oxen plow the earth over the seeds for 3 more rounds. A Brahmin priest scatters grains after the grains are scattered, the oxen plow. Although this took only 30 to 40 minutes, I was standing in an ankle-deep puddle and it seemed like they must have done at least 100. When the plowing is completed, the oxen are unleashed and are presented with banana leaf bowls containing 7 types of food: rice, corn, beans, sesame seeds, alcohol, a type of alcohol, and grass. The earth over the seeds for 3 more rounds. Oxen's choice of food predicts the agricultural produce for that year. According to the predictions by Brahmin astrologers, a choice of corn or rice means an abundance of grains and plentiful fish, beans or sesame means plentiful fish and meat, water or grass indicates plentiful rain, food, meat and agricultural crops, and alcohol tell of more efficient transportation system, good trade relations with other countries and a generally prosperous economy. This year the oxen chose to eat sesame seeds and grass, predicting that the country will enjoy an abundance of rice and enough water for this year. The cloth chosen by the Purikna forecasted adequate water supplies and good harvests of fruits and rice. After the prediction is read out loud to the crowd and the oxen led to their corral, the crowd breaks down the barriers on the perimeter of the field and rush onto the freshly plowed earth to dig up some dirt in order to find a few grains of rice from the ceremony. This is sometimes mixed with a farmer's rice that he plants in order to ensure a good harvest, or it is kept for good luck for the year. I knew that the crowd breaks down the barriers and rushes to the field, but as there are very few foreigners who attend the festival, the Thais surrounding me found it quite funny that I was in the middle of them as they got ready to run madly to dig up the earth. The crowd waited respectfully as spectators rushed to the freshly plowed earth. After the prediction is read out to the crowd, the oxen led to their corral. The crown prince and his wife left the ceremony and then busted through the barriers. I joined them, but as they were running madly to the field through the muddy grounds, losing shoes and other items in the process, I made a beeline straight for Prako Phai and Prako Sai, the 2 sacred oxen. This was an excellent time to see them, and as everyone else was digging up the earth of the place, and shamelessly stealing whatever plants were decorating the festival site, I was scratching those boys behind their ears and horns. Regal in their manner, and surprisingly clean after having plowed in the mud for 40 minutes, they patiently waited as the crowd dug up the field before coming to them to receive their blessings. I moved around to the backside of the oxen as the people's attention turned to the oxen, and it seemed that everyone wanted to touch them reverentially and take their picture. I was amazed at how respectful the people were to the oxen and left satisfied that there is still one remaining thread of Vedic culture intact in Thailand. Prako Phai, Krishna Mai and Prako Sai to find a few grains of rice from the ceremony. Care for cows. Smoked cheese's secret recipe revealed how to make it after the cow gives birth. Let the calf drink all the milk for the first month and distribute any remaining milk to other calves in need. During this period, gather the dung the cow passes during milking time and knead it into a smooth mass. Divide the mass into grapefruit-sized balls and slap them on a wall facing the sun. These patties can be from 5 to 8 inches in diameter and about 1 inch thick, see photo at step 6. Once they are dried, store them for later use. From the 2nd month onwards, let the calf drink the milk from 2 teats and harvest the milk from the remaining 2. If the cow kicks or protests too much, you have failed to gain her confidence and should perform step 1 over again with a different cow. 2. Place the milk collected from one day in a suitable stainless steel pot with a thick bottom. Bring the milk to a boil, carefully preventing it from overflowing. Once the initial swelling subsides and the milk is at a rolling boil, pour fresh lemon juice into the mixture and lower the flame. The juice of 1 lemon per liter of milk should suffice. The milk should separate into curds and whey, but if not, add more fresh lemon juice until it does. 3. Find an abandoned cow. Heal all wounds, remove all ticks, deworm, and feed 3 times a day until her health is restored, approximate 3 to 6 months. Get her pregnant and feed her sumptuously during the 10-month gestation period. During this time the cow should be groomed and kept clean, and all efforts should be made to gain her confidence. 1. Remove the pot from the stove and pour out the whey until only enough remains to cover the curd. Estimate how much salt you would use to season the same volume of soup, then double it. Remove 1 cup of whey from the pot and dissolve the salt in it and then stir it back into the pot. Let it sit for 15 minutes. With a strainer separate the curds from the whey and place them in a colander lined with a clean cotton cheesecloth. Note: keep the salted whey in the pot for later use. Optional: sprinkle dried oregano or coriander leaves among the curds and mix thoroughly. 4. Now fold the cloth tightly around the warm curds and place a weight on the mass for 2 hours. This will press the remaining whey out and solidify the curds into one block. Next, remove the mass from the cloth and set it on a drying rack for 2 hours. Then place the block of cheese back in the salted whey and let it soak for 2 hours. This will enhance the flavor of the cheese. Next, remove the cheese from the brine and again let it drain for 2 hours on a drying rack. 5. Next, gather 2 or 3 dried cow dung patties. From step 2, place them in a shallow pan and sprinkle 1 teaspoon of ghee on each one. Light the ghee and let it burn until the flame goes out and the patties begin to smolder. Place the pan of smoldering patties in the bottom of your oven and place the cheese on the oven rack directly above them. Close the oven and let the cheese baste in the smoke for at least 1 hour. The mild heat and smoke will transform the outer layer of the cheese into a moist golden color and infuse it with a hearty smoked flavor. This smoked cheese can be sliced and placed on toast, cubed and added to dal, soup or salad. It can also be grated and used for stuffing parathats. Should you not have the time to prepare it yourself, limited quantities may be available when you next visit Care for Cows. 6. Saki and Vishal Mahesh Advaita Dasa, Dr. Mahesan, Malaysia, and Ananda Sundari Devi have kindly sponsored newly born Akshaya. Above, an abandoned dairy cow sits in the street unable to get up. New arrivals recuperating on a soft sandy bed at CFC. The Vrajavasis never failed to lend a helping hand. An abandoned dairy cow had been sitting on the road unable to get up for 4 days. Sanju and Amit Gautam were keeping her fed and watered and called for our help. She is old, eating very little and thought to be pregnant. Upon arrival we discovered she has hoof and mouth disease, FMD, which explains why she has not been eating well. We have begun the treatment and are hopeful that she will be healed in a few days. Krishna Murari Nakula Prangovind Kshetrupna. New arrivals. The Bhaktivedanta Swami Goshala has donated 4 handsome oxen to Vrindavan Food for Life, who has increased their fleet of bull-driven school buses. At present they have 6 school buses transporting approximately 250 students to and from the Sandipani Muni School each day. Care for Cows is hosting the new bulls along with 70 others at the Sundrak facility. Upon arrival there was a lot of huffing and puffing, coughing and snorting as the new oxen felt the need to establish themselves as the bosses of their new residence. There were several scuffles as our older residents resisted. Nakula, who is smaller in stature than the others, about 400 kilos, has proven to be the strongest of the new batch. He made short work of our 350-kilo Nandi, leaving a grapefruit-size welt on his underside. In another scuffle Nakula picked up our 600-kilo Madhu and tossed him in the water tank. Now that the pecking order has been established, the dust in the bullpen has settled and we are back to normal. This week the bulls will be paired up and will begin their routes, dutifully taking the Vrajavasi children to school. Krishna Murari, above, intimidates all challengers. Alexander Lukyashchenko, Alla Nikolaeva, Amit Goswami, AMS Zipnet PVT Ltd. Anand Ranganathan, Anatolij Dorogodin, Anna Sunko, Anand Argo, Lukman Beryl, Trimble, Karl and Stella Hersig, Chandramukha Dasi, Croatia, Putil, Daniel Migada, Vaki Kumar Dasa, Devala Dasa, Devender Kumar, Dhruva Maharaja Dasa, Dirk Vanderdonk, Doyle Govinda Dasa, Akagapai Dasi, Essential Herbs and Vitamins, Gabrielle Hincliffe, Gauranga Priya Dasi, Geena Naidu, Hamsa Avatar and Yogamaya, Hemant Ramana, Yulia Erdem, Irina Lukyanenko, Isani Dasi, Jagannath Rao, James Moore, Janhava Dasi, Jennifer Olsen, Hanava Dasi, Jivaka Jivananda Dasa, Jurgen Jensen, Kamlesha Graval, Katyayani Dasi, Keshvara Priya, DD Kitri and Rita Laura Chunald, Lilia Tonava, Lisa Gallo, Lisa Kubis, Lucy Wyatt, Madhava Dasa, Manish Bishnoi, Manoj Kumar, Vadavat Mayapur, Chandra Dasa, Mayapur, Fiorentino, Michael Meshuris, Michael Wentz. May cows stay in front of me, may cows stay behind me, may cows stay on both sides of me. May I always reside in the midst of cows. Harry Bhaktivila 16.252. The cows send their heartfelt thanks to those who assisted during May 2009. Thank you from the cows. Nadez de Lavrenti, Avon, Alini Gagar, Nancy Kupal, Nikhil Patel, Nishant Vashisht, NK Padayashi, Pinkash Shah, Purnama C. Dasi, Radha Karan Dasa, Radha Jivan Dasa, Ramesh Chandra, Razamandala Dasi, Rohini Sudha Dasa, Samarchit, Anand Sarah Needs Wiki, Secretly Young, Sophie Rubinstein, Steiner Knudsen, Sujatichit, Huri Sukhania, Venugopal, Sundara Raman, Thyagarajan Tal, Avidal, Tracy Molina, Vananath Dasa, Vyasapada Dasa, Yajanavakaya Dasa, Yogesh Welling.